nos graines venaient à disparaître. Maladies, changements climatiques, elles sont plus vulnérables que jamais. Cette semaine, Élémentaire enquête sur leurs cousines sauvages, des variétés qui pourraient bien assurer notre sécurité alimentaire.
I am Chris Cockell, and we're sitting in front of the seed vault at the Millennium Seed Bank at Wakehurst Place. What's different about the Millennium Seed Bank is that we store the wild species, so these species that perhaps are not conserved elsewhere. These are irreplaceable collections in many cases, and in some cases there are actually species in the bank that are extinct in the wild. We have 6 -20 cold stores where the seeds are stored. And the idea is to prolong the life of the seeds, to allow them to remain in a stable condition so that they can be turned back into plants. A crop wild relative can be thought of as a cousin of our domesticated crops. So virtually all the foods that we eat have been domesticated to some extent. Many of these crops are already suffering from issues with yield and susceptibility to certain diseases that we need to face sooner rather than later. These wild relatives have been living on the margins, surviving in hostile conditions, and so they've adapted in the process of evolution to cope with these pressures. The Crop Wild Relative Project is collecting the crop wild relatives of 29 domesticated crops, such as wheat, rice, barley, oats, things like that, to banana, potatoes. There have certainly been challenges that our partners have had to face, dealing with leeches in Nepal or dealing with crocodiles in Costa Rica. In Nigeria, they had to deal with Boko Haram insurgents. We're not a museum for seeds. We actively want people to use them.
Nous dépendons d'un nombre très limité de denrées pour nous nourrir. Dans le monde, sur les 6000 espèces végétales qui sont cultivées, 9 d'entre elles représentent les 2/3 de ce que nous mangeons. Un peu comme si on mettait tous nos œufs dans le même panier. Des denrées vulnérables si elles sont la cible de maladies ou d'événements météorologiques extrêmes. Et bien sûr, une grave menace pour notre sécurité alimentaire. Nous avons donc 2 solutions. Évidemment, diversifier ce que nous mangeons, mais aussi rendre nos cultures préférées bien plus résistantes.
I'm Julie King. I work here at the University of Nottingham, breeding wheat, but using the wild relatives to introduce new traits into the wheat. So we take wheat, we just cross it to a wild relative. So we take the male gametes and we put them onto the wheat to make a new seed, which will be a hybrid or a cross between the two. We take a sort of scraggy looking wild relative, but because we only transfer a very small bit of it, then it only has a very small effect. We take the seed or we take the DNA from the plants into the lab. We look at the chromosomes on the microscope. We look at them using markers to see if we have a segment, how many segments, what size the segment is. None of our work is GMO because all of what we do can actually happen in nature. Our biggest success story would be where one of our collaborators has screened just the first 20 plants that we made available, and out of just those 20 he's found rust resistance. So with the hundreds that are coming along in the pipeline, we hope to find a lot more. I like being able to make things. I like being able to see the results of what we do, and also a major driving force is the good that we could do at the end of it.
En réalité, nous avons déjà perdu des milliers de végétaux, des pommes de terre, des carottes, et avec elles, leur goût unique. Cette perte de biodiversité est une menace non seulement pour notre sécurité alimentaire, mais aussi pour notre héritage culturel.
I'm Shane Holland. I'm the Executive Chairman of Slow Food in the UK.
Hi, I'm Barry Nichols. I'm Group Executive Chef with Grayson's. We're the UK's leading sustainable caterer. One of the things that's important to us is that we do preserve our British heritage, our food heritage.
Siaka Taste is a global programme of foods which are from a particular area but also at risk of dying out. So we have 5,000 of those products around the world in 160 countries. It is a red list for food. Not all of them are absolutely going to die tomorrow, but they're all really going to be, dying out very soon. So here we've got the russet apple, which we've talked about. It's dying out because it doesn't look particularly beautiful. Barry and I, we really love it.
And it looks fantastic. I mean, it's got a really lovely kind of rusty brown colour. So initially, just visually, it looks amazing. The taste, it's really crisp, really sharp, delicious flavour. So by getting Ark of Taste products into our supply chain, onto our menus, we're also using that as a process of education for our customers as well, so people can actually physically taste it.
The only way these things continue
is if we use it.
So I'm going to eat this now.
Please do, enjoy.
It's delicious.